In Africa, a silent crisis is unfolding. It's not a disease or an epidemic, but it's a threat that could overshadow many of the health advances achieved in recent decades. This is the story of antimicrobial resistance in Africa. Antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, is the ability of microorganisms to resist the effects of drugs like antibiotics, rendering them useless. It's a global problem, but it hits Africa especially hard. The misuse and overuse of antibiotics, poor sanitation, and limited access to quality health care have contributed to the rise of AMR. AMR leads to infections that are difficult to treat, prolonging illnesses and increasing the risk of death. Each year, AMR is estimated to cause over 350,000 deaths in Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa has the highest death rate in the world, with 255,000 recorded deaths. In Africa, 27.3 deaths per 100,000 are attributed to AMR. By the year 2050, it's predicted that 4,150,000 will die in Africa due to AMR. Healthcare facilities across the continent are feeling the strain. Overburdened systems, lack of resources, and inadequate infection control contribute to the problem. Roadblocks to healthcare include low and middle-income countries that are disadvantaged by limited quality healthcare facilities, laboratory funding, and skilled healthcare workers. Also, high infection rates of diseases like malaria, HIV/AIDS, and tuberculosis, which require antibiotics to treat, can be overprescribed or misprescribed. There are also counterfeit antimicrobials on the market, further exacerbating the issue. And diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS are increasingly showing resistance to once effective antimicrobial treatment options. And because of a limited range of antimicrobials available, the antimicrobials being prescribed are overused, increasing the risk of resistance developing. AMR doesn't just affect health, it has significant economic consequences too. For instance, in agriculture, the use of antibiotics in livestock can lead to resistant bacteria, reducing food production and increasing costs. But there's hope. Governments, healthcare providers, and organizations are taking action. Through education, improved sanitation, and responsible antibiotic use, we can slow down the rise of antimicrobial resistance. Better access to quality healthcare and innovative research are key to addressing the crisis. The fight against AMR requires a collective effort. It's a call to action for all. Together we can protect the health of our communities and ensure a brighter future for Africa. Join us in the fight to preserve the effectiveness of antibiotics and protect the health of Africa's people.